All right, so acute and chronic injuries. So, what is the difference between the two? So, acute means it occurs like there's an identifiable event. Acute is relating to a short period of time. So, there's something that happens, an event that happens, and then some things was one way and then it changes. So, usually, acute injuries are traumatic injuries. So, like an ankle sprain is something where your ankle's fine, then it hurts. There's an identifiable, a one-time event, and then it's hurt after that. Then you have to treat it. Chronic comes from the Greek word chronos, which means time. So if like the Titan god, the Titan Chronos in Greek mythology controlled time, and those are things that develop over a prolonged period of time. And these are mostly our overuse injuries. So things like shin splints. So it's not like we don't have shin splints and then all of a sudden we have shin splints. We basically have repeated small injuries. You're repeatedly injuring the shin, and we're developing shin splints over a period of time because of that overuse. So we have a couple examples just to demonstrate this a little bit more. So let's say this person's walking along and then, oh no, he slips and falls. So the fall is, let's say he hurts his back. So this person just has an acute injury. There's before the slip, there's the slip, the one-time event, and then afterward it hurts or something. And hopefully it gets better. Or maybe you're a dancer and the way you do your arabesque or something ends up hurting your back. So there's that small repeated stress over and over. There's small injuries that you're repeatedly doing to it that turn into a chronic injury. And then maybe your back always hurts. Maybe you have chronic pain because of that injury in your lower back. Now, I do want to address one more thing, and that is the difference between pain and injury. So, they're not always the same thing. So, we talk about chronic pain quite a bit. That's lower back chronic lower back pain is common in the general population. Um, but chronic pain may or may not mean a chronic injury. So, we go back to the case of shin splints or something, you're probably going to have, if you have shin splints, if you have a chronic injury, you're repeatedly injuring the shins there, then you're probably going to have chronic pain because of that. But there are a multitude of reasons you could have chronic pain in an area, like low back pain is one that may or may not be because of a chronic injury. There could be other things going wrong. Um, so just be aware that chronic, when we talk about chronic injuries, that's mostly overuse injuries, but chronic pain and chronic injuries are not necessarily the same thing. So that's just a distinction to keep in mind.